Hello, in this video I'd like to introduce you to the filter tool. The filter tool can be accessed by pressing F5 as a keyboard shortcut or clicking on the filter tab of the attributes and tools subwindow. There are two main purposes of the filter tool. The first is that it acts as a kind of advanced search. So it allows us to find entries that conform to some particular criteria or conditions. And the second purpose, and where it gets its name, is that it allows us to work with or extract a subset of entries based on those specified criteria or conditions. And there are many different types of possible conditions. For example, we can use the filter to find or extract all entries in our dictionary that contain usage examples. That's just an arbitrary example. There's plenty more possibilities. This is one of the more powerful tools in TLex. Right, let's look at the filter subwindow. For now, I'm going to ignore the hide column. That's slightly more advanced, and I'm just going to begin with simple filters using the left column titled show or reveal. This long list contains conditions, and these are the search criteria or filter criteria, and there are different types of criteria in this list. There are several main types. The first items in the list that are just simple labels, single labels, are element names. These are the different types of elements in our data, and these correspond to elements in the tree view. So this sense here corresponds to a sense element in the tree view. So these filter conditions mean search for entries containing the given element. So, as the example I gave earlier, if I want to find all entries containing usage examples, I can simply tick the example element condition. We don't have to worry about this for now. It will automatically fill itself in appropriately for simple filters, and then we just click apply. Filtered. Now we see the filter is applied. In the preview area it shows us 4,429 entries of 4,813. In this dictionary, the English Zulu have usage examples. Okay, and then the entry list on the left is restricted to contain only those 4,429. Which is a lot, so that's slightly less interesting. So let's unapply that filter. Let's click reset, which clears the current condition. It's a good idea, you'll see later why, to always press reset before you, just a tip, always press reset before you start with a new filter. Perhaps slightly more interesting example here, I am going to filter for all entries containing usage notes. Those are these boxes below certain entries, and we click apply, and here we see there are 118 of 4,813, and our lemma list, our entry list at the left, contains only those 118 entries that contain usage notes, as we can see in the preview area as well. One of the things we can do with a filter, there are a number, but one of the things we can do with a filter is export. During any of the exports, we can select the use filters option to export only those entries that pass the current filter. So if we export to RTF now with use filters selected, we will get a output file containing only these 118 entries. Other types of filter conditions are as follows. I'm not going to show all of them now, there are an awful lot, but I will show you the main ones. The next set of filter conditions, the next main set of filter conditions below the elements is, you'll see X, arrow, Y, and then a label. These are smart cross-reference types. So if we select, always remember, press reset first, tick abbreviation of cross-reference type, apply our filter, and we see 18 entries. And we can click on these and see, for example, we have L, abbreviation of liter, M, abbreviation of meter, mg, abbreviation of milligram, and so on. So this shows us all the abbreviation of cross-reference types. Reset and apply. The next main set of cross-reference types, you'll see are an element name followed by 2 colons and an attribute name that belongs to that element. So we can use these to search for all entries where the given attribute of the given element has a value filled in. We can search for all the entries containing notes. Apply. We see there are 327. Here are the 327 in the list, and these are internal notes for the editors. The next set of filter conditions are list items. So if you recall, certain attributes may be restricted to selection from a closed list. Here in the filter we can find entries that have been marked with particular list items. For example, we can easily find all pronouns just by ticking the pronoun box, clicking apply. You see we have 72 entries and we have all our pronouns. And apply reset. Right, the next set of major filter conditions are an element name followed by an arrowhead and another element name, and these refer to parent-child element occurrences within the tree view data of entries. So for example, lemma arrow sense refers to a sense appearing directly under a lemma within an entry. Let's try an example. Say we want to find all the context elements that have been attached as children of the combination element. The combination element meaning a sub-entry in this case. Note that this background being blue, just a tip, background being blue doesn't mean anything. It is whether or not the box is ticked. Right. Okay, so our combination context is ticked. We apply 2 entries past this filter condition. And you can see here in the tree view a context that is a child of a combination. Context, child of a combination. And apply reset. Finally, we have some error check or D2D validation checks, filter conditions. These are slightly more advanced, but they allow us to help use the filter to quickly find entries that contain certain types of error conditions or problems. Then we have the created by and last modified by lists, filter condition lists, which provide a list of the users configured in the user management for this project, and that allows us to find all work created by or last modified by a particular user, and that is very powerful, very useful for management. So we can very quickly narrow down all work done by a particular user only. There are further things, more advanced things I'm not going to go into right now. Further ways to even narrow this down further to show, for example, the most recent work of a particular user. There are a few other advanced and slightly more obscure filter conditions. I won't go into the detail of all of them. That covers the basics. Finally then, also there is the tagged option, filter on entries that have been tagged. And if you want to see an example of this in action, see the other video on our channel for exporting all entries beginning with M. Okay, that covers the basics of filters. There are ways, more advanced ways, in which these filter conditions can be combined. So you can combine multiple filter conditions in multiple different ways, and you can also do inverse filters using the hide column, and that will do the precise opposite of the show filters. It's the same conditions, but instead of, say, showing all the entries containing examples, it will hide the entries containing examples and reveal those that don't. That can be especially useful if you want to complete some particular information across the dictionary. So for example, and here's a common one, you may want to say every single entry must have a part of speech applied as a matter of policy. But now we have 5,000 entries. How do we make sure that all entries have a part of speech applied? Well, one way, the slow way, is to print the dictionary and to read every entry one at a time and mark those that don't have a part of speech specified. The smarter way is to simply go to the filter and hide all entries that have a part of speech tagged, which is the same as showing all entries that don't have a part of speech tagged. And we see in this dictionary we have none, which is great. That means it's complete. I'm going to untick the part of speech on abandon and reapply that same filter, just to show you that the filter can in seconds narrow down on the one entry in this database that doesn't contain a part of speech, saving you a lot of checking time.